The 26th mansion of the moon has coordinates from 21 degrees, 25 minutes, 40 seconds Aquarius to 4 degrees, 17 minutes, 9 seconds Pisces. Therefore, the night demon of the Goetia that inhabits the third decan of the third 10 degrees from 20 to 29 degrees, 59 minutes of Aquarius is Marquis Decarabia. Okay, Decarabia, the 69th Goetic Demon. And this 69th Goetic Demon, remember, this is a night demon. A night demon. Yeah, we're talking about that, not the day demon, because it's a lunar mansion. We're talking about where the moon is. We're talking about where the sun is. You're going to want to bring up perhaps the solar deity. Okay? All right, now, Marquis Decarabia possesses the planetary nature of the planet of the moon, or Luna, while the general sign of Aquarius is ruled by the planet Saturn and also Uranus. Furthermore, the night demon of the Goetia that dwells within the first decan, or the first 10 degrees from 0 to 9 degrees, 59 minutes of Pisces, is Prince Seere, S-E-E-R-E, the 70th Goetic Demon. Now, Prince Seere has the character of the planet of Jupiter, a very generous planet. While again, the general sign of Aquarius has Saturn and Uranus as the overseeing sovereigns. Now, moving right along, we have the Marquis Decarabia. We're going to talk more about him. The Marquis Decarabia materializes initially to the occultist in the shape of a star, okay, or a luminary, maybe even someone famous, on the inside of a pentacle. Have you ever seen stars with people's faces in them, a famous person? That's Marquis Decarabia, okay? That's what it is. Subsequently, after a while, he shows himself in the figure of a human male. Marquis Decarabia possesses the aptitude to realize the intrinsic worth of avifauna, flying creatures, and valuable gemstones. In addition, he causes the likeness of many types of these kinds of birds to take flight, to chirp songs, and imbibe water in an innate manner before the eyes of the occultist. This could have been used partially in the movie The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. So that these things are used also in movies. So you want to know what the magic of Hollywood is. It's in the lunar mansions, and it's in the Goetia, the Lesser Key of Solomon, the king. And this is that book, the Goetia, the Lesser Key of Solomon, the king. This one happens to be a translation by McGregor Mathers. Okay? All right. And of course, there's an edited an introduction by Aleister Crowley. Don't want to forget to talk about some of the giants. Now, okay, now we're moving on to Prince Seere. Shows himself as a beautiful human male, okay, conveying the land atop a steed that has wings. We're talking about Pegasus here. It's not a coincidence that we're talking about a steed with wings and we're talking about Pegasus in the lunar mansions. Not a coincidence. It's all very organized. And we know how organized Aleister Crowley was. Okay, about magic. He organized everybody. Okay. Now, his faculty, Prince Seere, is to journey to and fro whilst causing a large quantity of happenings to occur abruptly out of the blue. Furthermore, he has the aptitude to cart every type of item the occultist desires to whichever place he selects, and also is able to bring it back again. Prince Seere is capable of traversing across the entire world in an instant. He has the capacity to reveal to the occultist all manner of acts of pilfering or where secret riches are buried. Prince Seere is of an excellent character and is apathetic, nevertheless, in his personality. Moreover, he is agreeable to complete responsibilities requested of him by the occultist. He'll do the things the occultist asks or petitions, the supplicates for him to do. Okay? once you use his image, the symbol and all of that, and you do all the things from the Goetia, and once you've learned all of these things, then of course you can get him to do your bidding. But he's very agreeable. He's indifferent but agreeable. He's detached but agreeable, friendly, and generous, because Jupiter is a ruling planet. Now, this is very interesting. I just watched yesterday with my husband the movie, what was it called? The Legend of the Fall. The Legends of the Fall. It had Anthony Hopkins and several other people, Aidan Quinn, and it had Brad Pitt. Okay. Now, think about it. In that movie, Brad Pitt rides on a horse, okay, and he's a beautiful man, dressed very nicely, dressed always looking very beautiful. It was when he was very young, Brad Pitt. He was like in his early 20s, or maybe somewhere in his 20s probably. And, he does these things. He's able to go and do a lot of things for people. He's trying to, he does a lot of things for people. He has this personality. In this movie, Brad Pitt took on the form of Prince Seere. You can just see it. I saw the movie, and then I went to write this, and I went, wow. And it's coming up, see, on August 19th. They played the movie. That's the way the lunar mansions work. That's the way the Goetia works. They play the movie, the images, and it unfolds. See? And I just happened to go study it. But the reason they played the movie at the same time I was studying is because I'm following the full sturgeon moon in Aquarius, which is right here in this 26th lunar mansion, El-Mukdim, where Pegasus, where the winged steed of Prince Seere. This is all connected. It's how it works, and it's not evil. You read about some of the things that are done in the name of the Lord in the Bible, not very nice, but some of the things that this talks about are not bad. And of course, in the movie, they do some things that are more like the kind of things they talk about in the Bible. It's a little, a few things that are more violent, but that is not what this is talking about. People may use that, for different things, for whatever, but that's not what the Goetia doesn't really talk about. That kind of, not here, that kind of violence. You know what I mean? Man adds that from his other sources. But basically, Prince Seere is a very beautiful outer and inner being, okay? And another thing you want to, he also talks about the pilfering, that he will tell you where treasure is hidden, and he'll tell you about anybody that's like absconding with money they shouldn't be absconding with, okay? Now think about it. Brad Pitt was also in The Big Short. And what did he tell those two young men? Why did he help them? Why did he, it was all about Wall Street, the real estate market being exposed with the subprime mortgages, okay? And the default swaps and all of that. And they were like exposing that in that movie. And Brad Pitt helped these two young men. They said, why did you help us? They said to Brad Pitt, who had gotten out of the business because he wanted to just be more, live off the land and grow his own food and not be caught up in that kind of thing anymore. But he made money for them, and they were able to sort of, stick it to the people that were hurting, the people that got, hurt in the subprime mortgage problem, the big crash that happened, around 2009, I guess it happened, started in 2008, I guess, happened in 2009, I guess. But Brad Pitt said, you guys said you wanted to be rich. Now you're rich. He showed them where the pilfering was happening, and then they wanted to be rich. He made them rich. They didn't even have to beg him much. He just was very agreeable and friendly and detached, and into his growing his garden. And he was taking on again, I believe, my ever to be humble opinion, Prince Seere. Okay, I think there is even a little bit of that, especially in the beginning, before he became a vampire. In an interview with a vampire, when Brad Pitt was that young landowner riding on a horse, and he was a beautiful young man in that movie. Same thing. Same thing. So this is, I think he said he was like 24 in the beginning of the movie before he became a vampire. But even then, people of that age in their mid-20s were very responsible. They weren't like acting like perpetual teenagers until their 40s. You know, they grew up faster. And they didn't live as long, but they grew up faster. So I think that some of that Prince Seere came in the beginning, and maybe even, if you think about his character as the vampire Louis, who didn't want to eat, consume human blood. He was drinking the blood of animals and things. He didn't want to, it was making him kind of feel sick. He was detached in a way from being a vampire, and he was agreeable. He had a kindness to him, and that's that generosity of Jupiter. So anyway, I think this is sort of something that is in Brad Pitt takes that perhaps some of these traits, this beautiful spirit in some of his movies. I've always been a big fan of
Let
he
me
and
show you now the things to come.